Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Straight Down the Middle. I'm your host, CMC Tam Man, and today I'm going to review the first two ODIs of the bilateral series that's going on right now between West Indies and Bangladesh. I mean, a lot of people in the cricketing world, a lot of people, could care less about this series just for the fact that it was hard enough to get TV rights for this, hard enough to get TV rights for the series, and given the series, the ODI series, how it's turned out to be right now, I mean, I'd expect a bit more. I would expect a bit more people to a bit more interest to be shown. But nonetheless, Channel 9 has stepped in and is doing a good job. Neo Prime has Neo Prime has also contributed by a thing by feeding of channel taking the feed of channel 9. I'm sure legally and all that, because it's advertised and all that, and they're also doing a good job, except for the commercials, because I don't want to hear another story about Revital or about Fog or about some white Aryan or about some white Aryan motherfucker's girlfriend talking about talking about his boyfriend on a bike or something like that. I don't know, or I don't want to hear no retired actors talking about a Kent water purifier. Right. But nevertheless, the ODI series, it has started off in a good note in Bangladesh's favor, and I thought first thing, the first ODI, I thought it was just off day for the West Indies. They couldn't get set, and the first ODI, if you actually see it, uh, this has shown this has shown why Razak is so important. Why people like Razak are so important. And actually, people might hate me for this, but no, think about it. This has shown why Shakib Al Hasan, he actually has to learn a bit more variation, a little more. You gotta learn a little more, a bit more variations with his bowling. Because I think all the thing, he was getting a bit too predictable. He was giving away too many extras, towards the in recent times in in overs cricket. But and this shows a consistent bowling. It actually pays off, and it actually, it can get you wickets. It builds pressure and gets you wickets. Right, and that was one of the key things that actually got got a lot of the wickets. That actually got a lot of the wickets. That, and a bit of impatience from the West Indies batting side, but mostly it has to do with the bowling. But that's the first ODI. Second ODI, I thought, okay, teams have gone one down before to us, and after that, our teams have lost a game to us before, right? And teams have made a comeback. I mean, I remember the time against England. It happened in England when we beat them at Bristol. I think, yeah, we beat them at Bristol for the first time. Uh, the next match, Andrew Strauss came out and hit 149. Right. And we were chasing a target over 300 or something like that. Right. Right. So that's there's an example of a good comeback. And I remember, in the 2007 World Cup, we whooped India's ass, and then 2011 World Cup, India whooped our ass. 370 odd, and Sehwag scoring 170 or 75 of them. Uh, yeah. But I mean, you can also look at it this way. I mean, uh, West Indies took us out for after the second day. West Indies took us out in the World Cup 2011 for our lowest total ever, and we beat them by our biggest margin ever. So take that. Anyways, moving on, the second ODI. Since Bangladesh batted first, I thought, okay, here we go, Bangladesh gonna lose. But and the first hour was actually crucial. Tamim Iqbal got out. Naim Islam, I think so, he got out. And then it was a good decision by Mushfiqur Rahim as captain. And this is where when you're batting, your your captaincy shows, because your captain it doesn't show that much in bowling, but in terms of batting, one of the things that shows the captaincy, especially in ODI cricket, is when you bring in your batsmen. Like when you bring in what batsmen, that's what it shows. And this was a good show by Mushfiqur Rahim. Yeah, sorry about that. This is what it shows. And because Mushfiqur Rahim, if you actually see him, he's like if he gets time to set in, he can actually score some good runs. So this is why, like, usually he comes at the back end of the innings, and then he's always like he doesn't have time to set in, and he just brought in to just hit the ball big. Yeah. So good rotation of singles. Uh, Good rotation of singles, and Anamul Haq, he throughout this innings he maintained his composure. He didn't look that eager to actually go out of the blaze of glory. I mean, he wanted to get to his 100, if you notice it. Like, he wanted to get to his 100, with a single or a two, but he didn't want to like smash the ball out he smash the ball into the cloudless sky. Or I think there might have been a cloud there too, but like smash the ball into the clouds. He didn't want to do that. Right. Well, not to get to his 100, but anyways, that 120 by Anamul Haq was very, very crucial, absolutely very crucial, because it it's the same thing, isn't it? Like one set batsman, If you have one set batsman in one end, okay, and then you like other batsmen can work his way around him, and that's kind of what happened. Right. But West Indies, they actually bowled bad. I don't know why they played a seventh batsman, but they shouldn't have played they really shouldn't have played a seventh batsman. And West Indies, yes, they bowled bad. The umpiring was good, The and was I mean okay, I mean you can understand the mind frame that like the first two wickets went to short pitch deliveries, but not every batsman is the same. I mean, if you bowl 3 or 4 short pitch deliveries and they keep going for fours, you just don't do that no more. But West Indies, too many short pitch deliveries. Okay, yeah, Anamul Haq, yeah, he lost the wicket, but that was in 120. And good job to congrats to Ravi Rampal, because this guy does not does not get enough credit for all his hard work. Ravi Rampal, I always consider him a beefy, more pacey version of Mashrafi Mortaza. Yeah, so like he's like Mashrafi Mortaza with a bit more pace and a lot more muscle. But anyways, like intelligent bowler at times. Sometimes a bit wayward, but intelligent bowler, hard-working bowler. Yeah, and Andre Russell, not too sure. In terms of the West Indies batting, I mean, and yeah, Mushfiqur Rahim, he contributed well. Tamim Iqbal, it was good to see him get 550s in a row. It was really good to see him get 550s in a row. And yeah, we're not exactly missing Shakib. Well, not right now, but obviously, Shakib, as the complete player, obviously he's you can't say irreplaceable, like we cannot play without him. Now, obviously, having him in the side is an absolute asset, but it's not like we cannot play without him. I mean, we've just shown that we can play without him, and this is a good thing. People like Anamul Haq, people like Shoaib Ghazi, people like Abdul Razak, they're actually stepping in, stepping in and doing the work, so that every time Shakib comes in, he got his backs against the wall, and it's not that again and again. So this was good. I mean, the West Indies, the bowling was bad. It was straight up bad. But then again, you get a batting. No. And one thing, it's not too much about the surface though. If you actually notice it, because in this surface there was decent turn, and the pitch report says you have to bowl first, and that was what West Indies did, right? Because Sunil Narayan, he was getting the ball, he was turning the ball enough to deceive the batsman. So that tells you something. Okay. What they missed a trick. Instead of Kemar Roach, they should have they should have played Viraswamy Parmal, and I think that's what they're gonna do in the third ODI. I mean, regardless of me saying it or not, they're gonna because obviously they noticed one thing that like it's the spin that's gonna do the option, and Sunil Narine he's now starting to get exposed as a T20 bowler. He's not starting to get exposed as a T20 bowler, cause on the same pitch, you have the Bangladeshi spinners bowling, and they're absolutely wreaking havoc. They're absolutely wreaking havoc. I mean, yeah, granted, most of the bad wickets were on batsmen's mistakes, but but then again, a lot of pressure came from Animal Hawk. The 292 is a big total. It is a big total, and it was a good thing to see. Because I've seen how the wickets fell. Like a lot of the wickets, it came when like spinner wicket. It usually came when the batsmen were trying to play for the turn and the ball didn't turn, or they're playing for the straight ball and the ball turned, right? And also flight, right? Uh, this is why I think the next match, if West Indies won, because I'm a fan of West Indies cricket as well, and this is why this series is so important to me, because two of my favorite teams are like having at it. Like obviously my in terms of sheer ability, my favorite team right now is South Africa. Yeah, but I mean. I always like something about West Indies and West Indies cricket, right? But yeah, with that thing said, Bangladesh, they set a good total 292, and the bowlers did not get complacent, because it showed that they did not get complacent. Instead, the batsmen got complacent, and if you see, most of the wickets they went to defensive shots, playing for the turn, not playing for the turn. They're not trying to hoik the ball, playing for the turn. They're not trying to just drive the ball, straight drive the ball. They're trying to play in the turn, just to get bat on ball, and then they either get an edge or they get bowled, or in one or two cases they get LBW. Chris Gale's gonna be Chris Gale. Mashif Murtaza, good ball, good ball to get the wicket. Now, one thing that concerns me is Abul Hassan, because he hasn't been making an impact with the ball. That's the only one thing that concerns me. But then again, he doesn't need to make an impact on the ball when the other bowlers, including the part-time bowlers, like Naim Islam, he's causing problems as well. So I mean, depending on the Dhaka wicket, we don't know what's it gonna be. But obviously the Khulna wicket, in the ODIs, it was balanced, and Bangladesh clearly played the better cricket. It was not batsman friendly, bowler friendly, because like I said, you pretty much have two identical pitches type, right? You kind of have two identical pitches, and then the first match, Bangladeshi spinners caused the havoc. The second match, also the Bangladeshi spinners caused the havoc, and the second match, Darren Swamy, according to the commentators, made the right decision to bowl first. So I mean, and the second match performance was worse than the first match performance. So that kind of tells you it was an even match. No, it was pretty even, and Bangladesh actually played the better cricket. Now this actually tells you something about the test matches. About the test matches, if you notice, Bangladesh did not play well in test match, because they did not. One thing, the bowlers gave away too many loose deliveries. If you notice it, the bowlers gave away too many loose deliveries, did not maintain the pressure. Okay, that and the DRS, that Chandapal actually was out on before even reaching 150 and all that. That might have changed something. Psychological things. Anything can happen. But yeah, that kind of that kind of tells you all that it's a mental thing right now, and this is why in the test matches I think Anamal Haq should have played instead of Nazimuddin. Because Nazimuddin right now, I don't think he's doing too good in domestic as well. And Mohammad Ashraful, forget it. He's playing for Dhaka Metro. He barely can score a 50 right now. Forget a 50. Barely can score a 40 right now. I mean, jeez. Right. But Bangladesh should keep one thing in mind: not to get complacent. not to get complacent, because yeah, you won 2 ODIs. The series is still alive. If you lose the series from here, people are gonna call you losers. People are gonna call you like you had the trophy clenched by your fingers. You just had to put your thumb around it, but you let it slip from your hands. You had to put your thumb around it, get the grip, but you let it slip from your hands. So like you Bangladesh absolutely have to maintain the pressure, because it's the third ODI. We know that teams back against the wall. West Indies will try their best to win the third ODI, right? And this is where this is where a true character and a true the fighting nature of Bangladeshi cricketers, like whatever nature they have, the fighting nature, it's gonna show up against teams who are looking to save their assets, and saving the assets, they're looking to defeat you. How are you gonna do it when teams are putting everything against you to beat you? Can you beat them? If you can beat them, then that shows you are actually a good side, and you actually played better. You actually played better than them. As an overall. Obviously, West Indies 3 ODIs, they have to win all three, but still, the third ODI is so essential. The third ODI is so essential, because if you get this clinched, it kind of because West Indies are on a high. They just won the T20 World Cup. If you clinch this one, it'll sort of it'll cause an psychological effect. I know this because I play blind cricket for Yorkshire County, and my team, well, I don't captain it, but my team has gone through this situation, and I have seen it, man. I have seen it. Although I'm a bit more of an international cricket mind frame. Some of the reaction of some of the people are not exactly that good, because and this is one thing people do not realize. People do not realize. Countries like Bangladesh, West Indies, Zimbabwe, even one point Pakistan, if they lose, big deal, big fucking deal, man. If a country like Australia and England loses, they're like, ah, man, nah, man, I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. No, that's not the right attitude. That's not the right attitude. If we lose, we how are we gonna make our fight back stronger? Because we all have the nature to fight back, and that is what I admire about what I've seen from Bangladesh cricket. They have the nature of fighting back, because Mushfiqur Rahim said, the second ODI, West Indies are gonna try something hard. Yeah, stick to these words. Third ODI, they're gonna try something harder. So yeah, and given Razak's performance, I think there should be a place for him in the ODI, in the Test squad, because when he didn't get a place, you could see he got disappointed. He took 9 wickets, 8 wickets, no, 7 wickets. And speaking of which, congratulations to Talha Zubair getting 8 wickets in 15 overs. If he can keep this up, we might actually have a paceman to be proud of in Bangladesh, except Mashrafi Mortaza. Right. I'm looking forward to comments and suggestions. This is the MC10 man signing out.